Let's do live now. Yeah, who cares?
So
you just copy and paste it.
Is it a different link then?
Okay, because I tweeted out the link from earlier. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Nobody's watching. I got fucking 8 followers on that shit.
We got 8 already?
I think we're live already.
What? We're live?
Maybe,
yeah. Nicely produced. Are we live?
Yeah, but just Dom's live because he's on the Wirecast.
Just Dom's on? Our producer?
What a time.
Go ahead, what? If we're live, welcome to Tifosi Time, the Serie A / Juventus podcast that is quickly becoming your favorite, even though you don't know it.
With stuff like this is my favorite.
I mean, okay, can we just talk about how this is episode? What is it, guys? What episode is this?
I don't know, 15.
15, and we've forgotten how to actually start the show. We used to have graphics. We used to have an intro.
Wait, hold on. I was just going to say, like, there's no I'm staring at our producer right now. I'm looking at it. I don't know what the hell's going on.
So, I'm on the YouTube. There you go.
Oh, there we go.
All right. So is this what's being seen, or were they just staring at Dom for?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
You know, wait. Time out. Can you actually get the word producer if you've messed up the show on week 15?
I mean, I gotta revoke it. We're looking for a new one if anybody wants.
The show is brought to you by hemorrhoid cream of your choosing. All right. Well, welcome. If you're here, you're in the right place. If you're looking for a Tifosi Time podcast, we were a bit confused there, but that is the show we're doing. So, fellas, how was your weekend? A lot of soccer going on. We got 2 weeks of soccer that just passed. We got soccer starting again tomorrow. This is
too much soccer.
Too much soccer. It's this is, I feel like this is speed dating with like Serie A. It's pretty crazy. I don't know where we're starting. I don't know if the producer even has.
Let's start.
Dealer's choice.
We have 2 weeks to cover. Let's start with week 12 because I don't know. It was previous, obviously, but we'll go over a little bit. I don't want to go over every single game from week 12, but let's start with the Juventus game. And then we have a slide of all the results from week 12 that we can just touch on.
Good deal. So we're starting with Juventus Atalanta. 1-1 for those of you guys that watched it. I was able to watch this on ESPN Plus later on the day. What initial thoughts, guys? What do you guys think?
I could have won, right? Ronaldo missed a penalty. That was this game, correct?
Yep, that was this game.
It's on there on the screen. Yeah. Chiesa, give him props. Beautiful goal, right?
He did have a nice finish. Couldn't you kind of see that in his movement a little bit the last 2 weeks and the goal? Like, is it me or do you see him kind of growing into his role a little bit at Juventus, like a little bit more confidence in his movements and on the ball?
I think for sure he's more comfortable. He's getting there, you know. Like, and you need that, so that's good.
Which is good to see. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that happens to everyone. Like, you can't just expect people to move teams and be fantastic week 1. It's not it doesn't happen a lot.
we got a comment on sick opening graphic, which I don't think there was any, but we'll take it.
There was.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you then. No, but the thing is, his confidence was going up, but it wasn't like he was playing every single week though. Right, which is actually a good sign. Like, he played a couple games in a row, but it wasn't like he's played 15 games in a row and it's just obvious his confidence will go up. I think that's a good sign that he's settled in.
He's still not playing every game in a row. Now you're seeing McKennie is the one who's starting every game. Like, Pirlo sees that he's vital to the team and does a lot.
Yeah, it's about time.
So out of all the midfielders, McKennie is the one who's like,
he's the most important one.
I'm going to play every game. Like that's
In fact,
my spot now.
In fact, don't you think in the last couple of games that Rabiot's playing, he's kind of fall back to earth a little bit, or is that just me?
I still like him.
I've seen
No,
him.
I'm not saying I don't like him, but
he's been doing less.
I feel like he's been doing less, right? Less work rate a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think in general, all the players are understanding their roles and like what is expected of them, like a little bit better, right?
Yeah, and that's normal, right? I mean, they're halfway through the season just about, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
We see Parola is on. He says hi. Hi back.
How you doing?
Do you guys see the one mistake in the graphic? Because there is a mistake.
Is this like a hidden? This is Dan's hidden graphic.
Yeah, I was making so many freaking graphics, but Ramsey playing left defense, that didn't happen.
Oh yeah,
that's, you know. I was.
You know, this should just be a shtick that we do from now on. Like you just mess up a graphic, and it's like the Where's Waldo? Like where's the effed up graphic?
From Atalanta's side, so Gomez played. He got subbed in at halftime, and he made a difference. You know, he had the assist to the goal because Atalanta really wasn't doing anything the first half.
But you could tell he was a little bit off his touches too and everything. But he did make a difference. You could tell the mentality changed a little bit.
And he got some crap, and it was starting some rumors. Actually, he was humming Juventus's song before the game in the crowd, so he was getting some crap for that. But there's no repairing that relationship now because he didn't even dress in this week's game, but he did provide with the assist. And I was giving Gasperini props for putting him in that game because that was the week right after all like the crap hit the fan. So I was thinking, okay, is that an olive branch where the coach kind of like held his line but still put him in, right? And then it got worse this week. He didn't play at all. Well, he didn't even dress. I think they just hit to the point where, like, you know what, he's not going to play for us anymore. And you've seen Pessina's playing more. He's playing more up top, trying to fill that role. They're changing some stuff. They're trying to put people in different positions to see who can fill this spot, which is hard.
Listen, for me, Atalanta's got a lot of good players, but for me, it's one clear player. When he plays, they're better. When Gosens plays, their team just moves so much better. And everything, the midfield, the offense, everything works better. So for me, it's Gosens there. And if they're gonna lose, who were we just talking about?
Gomez.
They're gonna lose Gomez. They're gonna need Malinowski and some other guys to really like take it up a notch, take his spot because he does make a difference there. Besides Gosens, I think.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad to see him leave, right? Like, I don't want him to leave. No one wants him to leave. Like, he's that team, right? Like, he's their guy.
That could be ending a cycle, right? You never know. Like, it takes like one thing like that. Next thing you know, a couple other guys leave, and the Atalanta cycle could be done. You could be looking at it like in a year or two and being like, well, they stink again.
Well, let's hope he stays in Italy, right? There's some rumors we'll talk about, but let's hope he stays.
Yeah. 1-1. I actually thought it was a good result for Atalanta, considering all that's going on with them. And 1-1 versus the top 14, you'll take that considering the way they've been playing. So on Juventus's end, De Ligt was strong again. Morata again playing well, not scoring, but his hold up play and his passing, he just does so much more than just score. We got a comment over here from Parola. It says, Rabiot, it's a matter of being informed.
He just said what I said.
Yeah, Rabiot right now.
I agree totally, Parola. I was just saying that in the last 3 weeks or so, Rabiot seems like he's fallen back off. Like he's just not moving as well.
So you do have to remember, I forget what game it was, but like he got a yellow card in the first like minute. That totally changes the way you play the rest of the game, especially him, that type of player, right? That was one game that affected him for sure.
Yeah, what was
that yellow card again?
That was
a yellow card.
It was a handball. He was bracing himself. He was going to hit the post.
Oh yeah, that was the one where he wussed out instead of scoring. Right, it hit his hand and went in the net.
He did knock his teeth out on the post. What a bum.
Yeah. I wanted to rant about that. I mean, listen.
You did.
I did. Oh, I did already talk about that. I thought that was the week passed by. Continue on.
He didn't play this week. So Bentancur and Arthur played, and Arthur got hurt, right? So he's out a couple of weeks. He didn't do much when he was on the field anyway in that game. So McKennie, like I said, McKennie's going to get his time. He deserves the time. And then Bentancur has been playing a little better because I haven't been impressed with him this year really at all, but he's been playing a little better lately.
Last couple of games, he's been okay.
Mm-hmm.
But McKennie, you're right. McKennie, man, I love watching him play. He's been awesome. He's like, he runs all over the place. He's got some offensive skill. The passes he's throwing around. Just
Yeah,
like,
you know how many times McKennie tries the quick one-touch pass? Like more than like people that are supposedly way, bigger profiles. Like at least McKennie plays one touch sometimes.
That was my thing. Like I thought when he came over here, he was just going to be defensive. He was going to run around. I thought he was going to be so slow on the ball. He's not slow on the ball at all. Like
no.
He's passing before he sees where the guy's going. Like he's okay. I'm going there. I know where the ball's going to go. Like he's very good with it. He's just quicker than I thought he was going to be with the ball.
And this week, right, where he won U.S. Player of the Year, Men's Player of the Year.
Yes, which I mean, I guess it was deserved. Yeah.
So props to him for sure coming over to Juventus, and then not a surprise, but I read an article that said that they were close to probably picking up his $18.5 million option, which is a no-brainer, right? So to pick him up.
You can't. I mean, I don't think anyone would say, "Oh yeah, take him back." And it's he'll be on the team.
No, and the thing is with McKennie, because of his attitude, I think he's only going to continue to get better, right? If he keeps playing.
For sure, yeah. All right, so let's go to this week's game. Well, Dom, go to the results of Week 12 because I don't want to hit up every single Week 12 games because was Perola said he said I was the first one to believe in him before Pirlo had the extra. What? Yes.
Pirlo. All right, you need to slow your roll because I was the one who said when they first happened, I said, watch out for this kid. He's going to be good. And you were like, oh, he's American, blah, blah, blah. And he's good.
So, listen, first of all, how could either of you take credit before the team who scouted him and signed him? You guys are saying he's saying before Pirlo, he saw that he was good.
No, I will tell you though, I am looking forward to World Cup talk and talking about the U.S. team because they have a nice group of young players.
Yeah, no, there'll be expectations for that team as long as their coach can get it together and they have like a decent plan. Like they should get out of their group. They should advance. They have good players.
Yeah, I'm not really thinking about 2022, but if you think about 2026, if they
2022, they have enough good players on their team.
To advance, but maybe 2026 do something, fun and exciting. But anyway, back to round 12. What else stuck out about round 12 here?
So round 12, you saw Inter beat Napoli. That was a late goal, and Insigne got a red card at the end of the game. That was really the other kind of toss-up game, the other good game of the week. You saw Milan tie Genoa 2-2, which is kind of a surprise. Like I said, I'm not going to go into too much depth with all of these games because I can't even remember, to be honest.
Were they losing?
So Perella's saying he still thinks we need a better goalie. So, it depends. Like Buffon's better than Chesney. So if we played Buffon, I'm happy with him for.
I wanted to talk about Buffon in the next game. Dom, throw up the next slide. You got this slide because we'll just get into it now. YouTube might be censoring. So who knows?
They're censoring in Italian.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
All right, so let's go to this one because this one just happened. 4-0. This is the first time Juventus has won 4-0 in a game in a long time. Actually, I don't think Sarri even did it. The team even did it once with him. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
I mean, this game was pretty comfortable. I feel like they controlled the ball. They moved it pretty decent. They got their goals. There was Buffon make a save or two maybe throughout the game.
So that's the thing. Buffon played really good, and Parma had that counterattack in the beginning of the game, and he stayed. He stopped it. It could have easily been 1-0 Parma. He played really well. He made 2 or 3 really good saves, and he's a very competent backup.
I mean, let's face it. Buffon is better than Chesney.
Chesney
is good, but Buffon,
it's a toss-up for me, honestly. I don't care which either one plays. I still don't think either of them are world-class. They could use a better goalie.
But Buffon should the only reason Buffon isn't starting is because he has nothing left to prove, and he's like, I'll stay and do the backup, right, and stay and play, and he's got the understanding with Juventus, but there's no difference between Buffon and Szczesny right now. There really isn't. Like, and I think if Buffon played more, he would. If he's not already ahead of Szczesny, I think he would.
Listen, yeah, I mean, if Szczesny went down with an injury for 2 or 3 months, would I care? No, because I got Buffon there. So yeah, you're right. It's the same.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it a couple times this year. I feel like where Buffon had like it was one of those typical games where it's like he was not doing anything for 60 minutes, and then there was a good chance against him, and you wouldn't expect him to save it, and he pulls out the save. I mean, that's the thing that Juventus goalies has to do, right? Is like try not to fall asleep for 75 minutes, and then when you're called upon to make a big save, make it. And
yeah, and Szczesny makes more like head blunders than Buffon did too. So that's my concern with him. He's just like play a cross totally wrong, or just like totally misplay a ball. Like I have less confidence in the routine save with Szczesny.
Yeah. Listen, Szczesny's good too. He's not a bad goalie. He's not a bad goalie, but when we had Buffon starting his heyday, you knew you had the best in the world. Now you have, you have a top 10 goalie.
Now you have a competent goalie. But anyway, Buffon played well. He's been playing, in spots, and he's done well every single time that he's been in there. Like, you can't fault him for really one goal that's gone in. What else? What are your other thoughts on this game?
The first goal, if I remember correctly, was terrible defense.
Sandro crossed it to Kulusevski on the ground, and it got through like 4 defenders. Yeah, it was just like. You don't expect that ball to cross the entire 18-yard box on the ground.
So it was a good finish, right? But like that ball should have never got there at all, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was unmarked, and it was a side-footed, shot from Kulusevski where he always picks that far corner, and it goes in every time.
This was 2 more penalty shots for him? No.
There were no penalty shots for this one.
I don't know, man. I feel like all he does.
There wasn't. I thought there was.
No, so he had the cross from Morata, who was, again, the defense was terrible. Wide open in the middle. Morata had 15 yards from a defender, so he can easily lay up across to the center, headed the ball in.
Well, that was horrible. Like, Morata's finish was nice, but he was wide open on the header. Like, there was 10 yards of space.
And then the other goal was Ramsey dribbled and passed it to Morata. He left-footed, far post, clinical.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, it was a clinical finish. You couldn't really stop that. And then Morata was wide open in the box on his header too. Like Parma.
Yeah, he was. That's what I was talking about. He was wide open on that. Yeah. It was a nice finish, but it was like practice.
Mm-hmm. McKennie, another nice game.
Yeah.
Every game, man.
Well, that's why he's playing every game.
So, and you saw too, like they're up 3-0, whatever, and they take him out. Like, good, rest him, because like I want him to play every game.
Well,
but he's young. I mean, does he really need to be rested? I mean, although they're playing every 2 days. So.
With the amount he runs, if you can get 60, 70 solid minutes out of him, take him out the last 20 minutes.
And that's how you pick up injuries. So I'm glad they took him out.
Yeah, well, in a 4-0 game, it doesn't really matter, right? Gervinho didn't do much in this game. I thought he would at least been dangerous once or twice. He didn't really do much that I remember.
Listen, nobody in Parma really did.
Well,
no.
You texted us. You were like, number 10 looks good, and he's been good for a couple.
Yeah, with the French guy, right?
Caramella?
Yeah, when he came in the set, I think he came in as a sub.
He's so consistent.
I text you guys. He didn't do much in terms of being dangerous, but when he got the ball, you could see that he has a little bit something extra compared to the rest of the team, like faster, like a little bit better movement, some technique to him.
Yeah.
He's always what?
He's always had promise. He just never, puts it together. But
how old is he?
He's relatively young. He's not old.
He's pretty young, right? Yeah. I mean, I think that's somebody that if he has any type of promise, like I'm surprised Parm can't get him on the field. I mean, I know Cornelius does his thing and whatever, but
Caramaro started last game midweek. Him, Cornelius, and Gervinho, and he didn't do anything. Like he's just very inconsistent. So I don't know. We'll see. Parm they're struggling. They need to start picking up points. Anything else you guys want to say on this game?
No, I don't.
No, I don't really remember anything specific.
Yeah, it was 4-0. Like I said, they haven't won 4-0 a long time. One of the two unbeaten teams in the top 5 leagues, the other one being Milan. So 2 Italian teams, the only undefeated teams. Dom, go to another game. I don't care which one you go to. Surprise us. Producer boy. Okay.
Oh my God, this game they're asleep for more than a half.
Can I just say, so Atalanta won 4-1. I won a lot of money on this game. So Atalanta didn't do anything in the first half. They played really, really bad. Rome got the early lead, because Atalanta, they do that a lot. They let up their early goal in the beginning because they're half asleep. They never, they don't seem to start games well. Gasperini made changes at halftime. Ilicic came on, and he changed the entire game. I think he had 1 goal, 2 assists. The entire game changed.
That's actually a good sign for them because Ilicic up to this point, I think some of the fall of Atalanta was that Ilicic was in horrible form. They were trying to play him early on where he was just not in form at all. And if he comes on, that could help them make up for, Gomez being gone or what have you.
First good game in like 8 months, dude. He has been
That's what I mean.
of his form.
That's what I mean.
So,
that's a big sign for them because, those are the type of things why you see Atalanta struggling. Because like last year, it was like Ilicic every time he touched the ball was magic. Milinovsky every time he shot from 50 yards away it was upper 90. Everyone.
Gosens had a board like that. They had everyone clicking last year. If Ilicic is going to play like that, they can get rid of Gomez. It's fine. Take the $10 million. You're getting Ilicic to play like that. You have Pessina, you have Miranchuk, you have Malinovsky, you have Lammers. They got a lot of players they can
look. You still don't want to lose a player like Gomez because like he's got the most probably experience on that team, and he probably means a lot in terms of just the belief on the field. When you're struggling, you look to guys like Gomez to kind of like do something to break you out of it. But who knows? Like maybe his team's looking at him like, did he quit on the team? Like what happened all of a sudden for them to be like?
I mean, from what I read, it was him not following instructions from Gasperini. Gasperini wants him to do certain things on the field, and he doesn't want to do it. And he argues, and he does. And I guess they had it, and it boiled over, and he didn't even dress, and it's not going to change. He's leaving in January.
I don't know if we talked about it, but apparently it was like a physical confrontation too. Like something happened. I don't know what.
I don't know about that, but I just know that they don't like each other right now, and they used to love each other. Like Gasperini legit said one year, like you get rid of him and I'm leaving. So like, to go
that's crazy.
That to the complete opposite. He wrote in the chat, Roma's coach said the right thing. Roma, the first half played like a team, in the second half they played skip. Yeah, I saw that interview. He basically said that they played like little kids with Rome in the second half. Like they had no intensity. They just didn't play like a team. They played awful.
Well, listen, this goes back to the point I made a few shows ago, right? Where like all these teams, as much as Juventus struggling and wasn't playing good, these teams are just not consistent, And Atalanta's a good team, but like this is not going to be the first time Rome plays a big team and loses by 3 or wins by 3, right? They all going to do the same exact thing.
I mean, they have a real question in goal. Like Morante played terrible. Like he made a couple terrible plays that cost them. They did not play well. They had no answer either. It was crazy. Like they just control. I don't want to control the entire second half.
Hey, Parola, pay attention. We said that already.
I did mention that he was singing the national anthem, the Juventus anthem.
So do we think Gomez is going to end up on Milan or what?
So here's the thing. Go ahead, Chris, because you had a thought on this.
What did I say?
Gomez, you said you wanted him to stay in Italy.
Oh, 100% I want him to stay in Italy. I don't know if it's exactly going to be Milan, but there's a bunch of rumors because Caldara's part of it and Pessina, and there's a bunch of stuff going on because they have previous transfers and things. But I don't know if it's going to be Milan. But I read $10 million it's going to take to get him off the team.
So you're thinking that Atalanta would give him to Milan and cancel out some of their transfer funds for Caldara or –
well, they were initially saying just a straight-up swap because they owe the money for Caldara. So
right.
I don't think that's going to be the deal because I just don't see that happening. The two teams, you see Milan and Inter, the two teams being linked.
Oh, God. Inter, absolutely not. They'll ruin him. That's the dumbest thing ever. Milan, I think if they get him, they're going to play him. And I'll tell you what, Gomez with Abramovich, that team gets that much. I think that much better. Like I really do. I think that's exactly the type of player that could work well.
Like I know Çalhanoğlu is a contract expiring and they want to resign him and all, but like he's playing really, really well, and you can't just take Çalhanoğlu out of the lineup right now. Like he's played fantastic for them, and this is coming from somebody who hates him. Like 2 years ago, he was freaking awful, but he's playing really, really well right now.
I mean, I would say he could play good on Fiorentina, but Fiorentina's a wreck. I don't think they're going to spend any money on him, right? I'm trying to think of teams that are like could benefit from, he would play good on Sassuolo, but they're not going to spend any money on him.
He did mention that he does want to stay in Italy. I don't think he wants to move his family out of Italy, which is totally understandable, in the middle of the season and with everything that's going on. So I think he will stay, and I really do think Inter and Milan are the two choices.
It might be Inter. That's all I'll say.
Why would Inter get him? It makes no sense.
Because he's turning 33 in February, and it's perfect.
Because Conte just wants anyone. It's like, oh, this guy's for sale. Give him to me. So I can, why?
Yeah.
You also have to find teams who can afford it. Like, you got to afford the fee and his contract. Like, there's not a lot of money to be thrown around right now.
He probably doesn't. No, there's not a lot of money, but he can't make that much on Atalanta, right? What's he making now? Like $3.5 million?
No, he makes 2.5 right now, I think. But I think
2.5.
He's gonna want more than that. With the
demand more.
He might not be able to demand more right now. He might just have to get the same thing and go somewhere.
Go back to this game. All 4 goals were beautiful.
Honestly, I could see him ending up in England though, because like I could see an England team paying $15 million, and just because they have more money.
He's not going to England.
We'll see. Money talks.
Yeah, I mean, we have a comment in the chat saying that Conte's gonna put him on the bench. Yeah, probably.
Exactly.
Put him on the bench. Yeah, he'll take Eriksen's spot on the bench because Eriksen will leave.
Exactly.
On the bench.
Exactly. Actually, you know what? I could see Atalanta doing that, saying, "Give me Bastoni."
You're insane.
What?
Inter's stupid. He's too young.
So going back to the game, all 4 of the goals were really nice. Zapata's goal was a very strong shot, perfectly placed. It was good to see him get back on the score sheet. Muriel came in 1 minute later, scored a goal. Illich's goal was really nice at the end of the game, just like cherry on the top. And Gosens' goal, Gosens plays center forward a lot of the time. Like he's always up there and getting headers and finishing crosses. It was one of Atalanta's better performances, and Gasperini has to take a lot of credit for that because he made really good changes, and they played well in that second half.
Well, that's the thing that Gasperini every once in a while, 2 out of 3 games when he makes changes, it usually is a positive on the game, which a lot of coaches nowadays, they don't even do that.
Mm-hmm.
They make changes and nothing really substantially changes in the field.
Yeah,
and you never know.
So coaches, Gasperini does that well. Juric does that well, and Ranieri does that well. Ranieri's not afraid to make 4 subs at halftime because he's like, you know what, this isn't going well. I'm making 4 changes because these guys got to go.
Give him credit because Samp, I did not think was good at all. And
did I not tell you that they were going to do well with
the
Ranieri?
way they're playing? Like they're getting results, right? They're playing.
I told you that was going to happen. I said, give him 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's all relative too. It's not like they're exactly at the top of the table.
Yeah, no, but they're top half of the table, which is good. Do you guys have anything else to say on this game specifically? Anything on Rome's end? I mean, I kind of mentioned Morante. He played terrible. Gave up.
Oh yeah. What about Spinazzola? Like that could have changed the game too. In the beginning, it's him and Golini floats it on the breakaway and just hits the outside of the post. He could have finished that one.
Golini 2 games in a row. He made nice saves against Juventus and nice saves against Rome. Like he's coming
Didn't
up.
He have a bad play though in a game recently?
Probably. I mean, everybody.
We were like surprised that Golini. There was a shot that he didn't save, and we were like, I forget which game it was, and we're like, what the hell? He should have saved that.
I'd rather have him than Handanovic.
Well, Handanovic is 41, so.
All right. That's pretty much it. Yeah, Miranchuk did play. He did come in. He's not using Miranchuk a lot right now. He's not,
and he's not really in form yet either. I don't feel like
he's just getting like spare minutes, but you can see like he can play with the ball. He's very with it. He's got good technique. He's gonna be. That's what I'm saying. If Ilicic can play the way he's playing, Gomez leaving. It's not the end of the world.
It's an if though, right? Because I mean, Ilicic has played horrible until this game.
Yeah, in 8 months, he played 45 minutes of good soccer. In 8 months.
It's like just to be like, oh, what about Pulisic? Is he hurt?
Yeah, he's out until January.
So that was the thing. Last year, all those guys were like
healthy.
Gold, and anytime they touched the ball, it was like they were doing something awesome.
Morante, we already mentioned. Rome needs to fix their goalie situation.
I thought Romero played pretty good though.
Yeah,
midweek, and
Yeah, I mean he's been more consistent lately,
staying out of the stupid fouls.
Mm-hmm. Dan, how do you like their jerseys?
Which jersey? Atalanta's jerseys. I hated them. They were just,
I like them. The gray ones. Did you? I don't know if you saw it.
It looked like they were drenched in sweat. The colors. It was disgusting. I didn't like it. Dom, go to the next one. What do we have next? Oh, look at this one. 2-1.
This game was disappointing for me.
Well, Milan scored before the whistle even blew. Like it was
crazy. Yeah, 6.2 seconds, fastest goal in Serie A history.
Yeah,
they were sleeping.
That's horrible. There's no excuse for that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, everyone should have been fined after the game because how do you let that happen? I mean, how do you let someone 6 seconds in come in and score? But besides,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. Besides that, I actually was expecting more from Sassuolo. I thought the game honestly just been. It wasn't a bad game, but I thought it would have been even more open and more entertaining than it was. Mm-hmm. And Milan did their part. They took the lead. They took a 2-goal lead, and then like Sassuolo clawed one back. The last 20 minutes, they started playing better. But
that free kick was crap. The wall just separated. What the hell was that?
Well, yeah, but. But I don't know. I expected more from. I thought Sassuolo would have made a little bit of a statement here and tied, at least gotten a point.
Well, look who's not playing though.
Yeah, Caputo. Where is he? Where is he at?
The Frel came back actually. He's been hurt too. They've had injuries, Sassuolo. But yeah, Caputo. He came off the bench, I think, right?
He did come in though. Caputo with 10 minutes left.
So here's my takeaways from this game. Couple things. First of all. Milan's midfield. Tonali got hurt. Kessié is suspended for next game. Benacer's hurt. They have a very difficult game against Lazio tomorrow or Wednesday with none of their midfield. If Milan's going to lose their first game, it's going to be this week, midweek, because they have no one there to play. But 2-1, they got the result, which is good. Leao, I mean, Sassuolo, this is what our criticism has been for them is that they don't play well against the good teams. Like they don't show up against the good teams. Yes, they had the possession, they had all that, but they let up stupid goals. Like their wing backs, the fullbacks, Ruggiero and Tolzien played terrible. They were awful. Like they were just getting Salamakers blew by Ruggiero one time, just completely blew by him. Leao blew by them.
Do they still have Peluso or is he gone?
But no, I don't think he's good. Ferrari is good. I like Ferrari.
I heard he played okay.
Did he get hurt? I thought he got hurt.
No, he came back after that.
Yeah, he twisted his knee a little bit, but he was fine after that. But a lot of injuries for Milan right now because Latan's not going to play again. There's the midfield's all messed up. They're
honestly Tonali. The first 15 minutes, Tonali played horrible.
I think he's played horrible all season. He turns the ball over so much.
That's what I was gonna say. The first 15 minutes, every time he touched the ball, he was giving it away, like bad passes. I was like, what the hell are you doing?
Just errant passes. Like he'll just kick it. Like, that's gonna go. I'm so good. This is going to that player. No, it's not. It's nowhere near where you want. It wasn't
even. They weren't even hard passes. Some of them.
Inter knows what they're doing, right?
I think they're drugging him before the game.
This is why Inter went with Vidal. You see that?
Yeah. No, honestly, because you can't even say okay, that's an out of form thing. Like, okay, one bad pass, but the first 5 passes I saw him make were horrible. He was losing the ball. I was like, what are you doing?
And that's been consistent all season of him. Like he's just errant passes. Like I don't remember him doing that last year. You know, he was with Brace. Like he passed the ball to. He didn't stretch the field a lot with that team, but at least his passes were going to his team.
Right.
You know,
he wasn't turning it over and creating chances against his team.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good result for them. They stay in first place. Sassuolo drops again.
We'll come back from this. We'll come back.
Will, he said will. Oh God.
Sassuolo, they're in trouble now, right? Because like they're gonna have to start putting some good results back up, where they're gonna start.
They'll be fine.
Well, if they're gonna try to hold on to a top 4 spot,
that's not their goal. They're not trying to get top 4.
It should be, man.
What was their aspirations this season was get top half of the table. They're still there. You know, I don't. You know, if they can get a Euro spot, great. But
yeah, but to me that's BS, right? Because I mean, like when you're sitting in 4. And you'll be like, oh, if we could only drop 8 more spots and stay in the top half, that's a win. Like, that's not good.
Obviously, you're not thinking like that, but and to the start of the season, that was not their goal.
Well, yeah, but, you know, when you're in the season, you're in the season, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but then Caputo gets hurt and things change, man.
Yeah, Caputo, man, I really should have got you a Caputo jersey for Christmas. That was my bad. I wasn't thinking. But he's
Caputo's corner.
No Caputo. Boga barely plays, hasn't played really fantastic. You know, their team isn't hitting on all cylinders right now.
No, Juricic didn't do anything.
Hasn't been good since he was sick.
He tripped himself when he tried to. He tripped himself trying to do a back heel early in the game.
All right,
which would have been a nice pass.
Tom, go to the next one.
Our producer's like making a smoothie or something in the background.
I know. I feel like I hear a blender in the background. So this was an upset to some people.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
an upset?
I don't know. Napoli's a different team without Osimhen, right?
Yeah, I mean, Napoli, they don't have their striker. And no Insigne. You know, he was suspended from the carryover from last game.
Where's Mertens? Yeah.
Mertens is hurt, so like.
Could you see? I could see Gomez playing well on Napoli too.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, he would be really fun to watch on them. Yeah. Could you imagine him on there?
I wouldn't mind that. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah. No, but you're right. No Mertens, no Insigne, no Osimhen. Like you do have a makeshift kind of lineup, and you still have Mario Rui in the fucking back over there, who's awful. You know, they flip flop their goalie a lot. They don't have a consistent lineup right now, and you're seeing them lose
Gattuso had one eye. What the hell happened?
Yeah, they got a pirate for a coach. Like it's tough.
Who was the person who texted in the middle of the game? It's like, why is Gattuso dressed like a pirate? Who texted that?
Producer. Give credit to lots. 2 goals were beautiful. I mean, there's some excellent goals this week.
Yeah, and who themselves are missing, you know, some people as well. So,
they don't exactly have a murderer's row either.
Yeah. Shoot, I was going to say something.
How much do you think they regret not selling Milinkovic-Savic for like $90 million or whatever they could have gotten 3 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, he's never going to be valued that again.
No.
So, yeah. I was just reading online people's reactions. People were hating the way Bakayoko played and Fabian Ruiz. You know, they were just giving them all. I mean, no one on Napoli really played well, but they were really getting the brunt of it. I've actually liked the way Zielinski's been playing lately, moving forward. But again, that's not really his natural position as center attacking midfielder. You know, they still a lot of stuff.
I personally would. I don't like. Why doesn't he play Politano there instead of Zielinski?
He's a wing player.
Because it's tough with what he has right now. Yeah, if he had his other wings, he could put Politano in the middle. You know, if you haven't seen it, you can move him and all that. But
but I feel like if you play 2 people out of position or in their not best, you might as well just play one who's going to play better.
Yeah, but a Politano he plays that position. Like it's not like that's an out of the norm position for him. He can play both, yes, but
I think out of those 2 players, Politano gives you more if he's around the ball more in the middle than Zielinski does.
Mm-hmm. Milik, oh my God, Milik is funny. I'm glad that he brought up Milik because online I go on the Reddit a lot. That's my social media for the league. People were saying Juventus sign Milik, sign him right now in the window, and I was like, what? Why?
Yeah, why? That was stupid. Who was saying that?
Just people are like, sign him for the $15 million, give him a contract. I'm like, why? You can just get him for free. And people are like, they clearly need another forward. I'm like, do they? Can they just adjust their lineup and play the
these
45
these are
that they have?
these are people that could take Kuhn's spot when he gets fired, because that's how they, just bring a guy on that's not better than who we have. So he can sit on the
But I
bench.
mean, he's right though. Like, could they use Milik right now? 100%. Like he would.
Oh well, I said that. I was like, that's ridiculous how that played out.
Yeah.
Like he went from like being sold to like, never mind, we're never going to pretend you existed anymore, and we're not going to replace you with anyone.
There are some stubborn people in life, and they're not going to change their way. Him and and the management.
It doesn't surprise me with that team, with the owner and all that. That
yes. So actually, they've lost a few in a row, and they're going on retreat. I think they were on retreat right now for today's game, for this week's game, because they're not
retreat. Like what are they going to do? Trust falls? Like what
I'm pretty sure s'mores around a campfire, but I don't.
Yeah, like seriously, we're going on retreat. Things aren't going well. Like what is this?
Listen, they didn't want to do it last year, when Ancelotti they wanted to do it over there, and they rejected it. So at least they're conforming to it a little bit now.
Wow, beat the crap. That's why.
Yeah, we'll see if it helps. Dom, you want to pull up the results for? Do we have any more slides, or do you want to pull up the results for the rest of the games? Yeah, let's do week 17 results, and then we'll do players of the week. That first one kills me. The first result, 1-1. So that's
2 bad games in a row for Verona.
Yeah, but you also have to remember. Go ahead, Chris. You're probably
They have a lot of injuries and like.
What is this? Just make excuse for anyone who only Juventus we can can say that when they play bad. I don't get it.
No, but with Juventus, when they do get an injury, they can substitute them and have not really any issue with it.
Of course, but Fiorentina's been playing so bad. I really thought Verona should have took points from this.
They have a lot of people hurt and a lot of people, people suspended. I'm not surprised by the result.
Velozo's playing really good for them. I feel like he's been consistent the last month. Velozo, he's been playing really well.
I actually think that's a good result, that tie.
Considering
you think it's a good result? There's no fans.
Considering
it's not like they were playing it.
They're missing, Frank. It's a good result for them.
I agree.
And didn't they lose midweek too?
Yeah, they did. That's what I'm saying. They're in a bad form right now because they don't have a lot of players. They're not doing well because they don't have the strong lineup that they were playing a month ago.
Yeah, but we were praising them for winning with selling all their players at the beginning of the year, remember? Saying, how are they still winning?
Now they don't even have those guys that they brought in.
Oh, come on. That's what the coach is for.
Okay. To piggyback on what do you write in the comments? It said, remember that Juventus already think about next year and that they do not know who to sell. Yeah, I mean.
That's every year. It's because Paratici's in charge.
Their management sucks, so that's.
I don't even think they know how to use Excel with the salaries. What do we have going?
They're like, you're willing to come to us for $3.5 million? Well, we're going to see that, and we're going to raise the 6.4, so we can never sell you again. How about that?
Well, I think, but his point was, with Milik, part of the money thing is why spend the $15 million now? It just doesn't make sense. You can get
the dumbest thing they could do.
Yeah,
it is dumb. And anyway, that just proves when Juventus has someone that they don't want anymore, who's still decent, they can't even give him away. But we're willing to just give money to other teams on players that are going to be free.
You had to pay Higuain full. Kadira, you can't get rid of unless you pay him full. It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
It's about buying and selling people, and management the last few years they haven't shown that they can do the right thing.
You had to beg someone to.
Yes, listen.
Well, I think this year Ronaldo's probably going to go, right? Don't you think? He'll have done his 3 years.
I
don't think so.
If they win the Champions League, maybe.
Well, so the rumor is, Manchester United is always, rumored. He'd go back to Manchester United, that kind of stuff. A team that can actually realistically pay for him. Manchester United was the team that keeps getting thrown out there.
Yeah, he can go back to Manchester United as long as we don't bring back Pogba.
Well, that was the other part of the rumor. I didn't want to.
Disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, you're hearing Dybala, going over there, Ronaldo going over there, Bernardeschi and Dybala going over there for Pogba, like just stupid stuff because it's a transfer window and people just make stuff up.
That doesn't even make sense that they just throw it out there. Like,
no, but would you put it past Paratici to do something like that because they think, oh, Pogba? Like I would not be shocked.
He's fully thinking of ways to get Pogba here. I think.
Doesn't it seem like that? Like,
yeah,
and I think he makes what, like, how much does Pogba make per year? It's probably close to what Ronaldo makes.
He makes an insane amount. I think he makes what like Dybala wants, and they don't want to pay Dybala. Yeah. So the thing with Dybala's contract is they offered him, and Yeli said they offered him a contract for a top 20 player in the world. Dybala wants top 5 player in the world money, and they said he's not a top 5 player in the world. We offer top 20, and that's what he's going to get. So that's where they're at right now.
To be fair, Dybala did win the MVP last season for the whole league, and it's a top 5 league.
Yeah.
No, but I think the point is, contract negotiations, whatever. I think Juventus should show some faith to Dybala and be like, we believe in you. And when Ronaldo leaves this year or the next year, who do they have left, right? It's like Kovalevsky, they got to hope makes the next step, but Dybala is the one you build around. But it's like they don't want to do that, but then they'll bring in a Pogba who makes more money and does way less. Why? So we can see him dye his hair a different color every week? Like, I saw that when he was 18. I don't need to see it again.
Listen, you're preaching.
Aggravates me.
You're preaching to two people who totally agree with you. So it's, I don't know. I don't want to see him on the team.
Okay. Would you rather spend the money on Pogba, or if I could tell you for the same $100 million that they want for Pogba, you could get ready Gosens, Lovato. I could build it. You could build 2 teams for the money that they want.
He's not worth $100 million anymore, so it wouldn't be that much money.
Producer Dom, what are you talking about, Mbappe?
They want $300 million for him.
Yeah, no, Pogba is not $100 million anymore, but he's still not worth what they want. So Ronaldo, I do think is going to be there one more year, and plus all these moves are in a January window. Never happens.
Not the January. I'm saying summer. Not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen there either. But
I think. We'll see.
All right. Anyway, I don't know. We got sidetracked. Samp won 3-1. That's another. They picked up 6 points this week, right, Chris? Because they won the other one.
Yeah.
They're
playing well.
Torino, Bologna, 2 backup goalies. Da Costa for Bologna. Holy crap!
What an own goal! Yeah, what a finish!
What a finish in its own net. Woo.
That's better than Chiesa on most nights, man.
My thing is, you do that in a game on a professional. Like, how do you finish the game? Like, how do you not just tear up your own contract in the field and dive into traffic? I mean, that's.
For people who didn't see, it was a free kick in Very, I think, on Torino. He crossed it, at the 6 basically, and the goalie just stuck his leg out and finished it. Earpost on himself. I don't know what that was. It was terrible, but
it was a nice finish.
Yeah, that was their only goal, and that was a tie. That lost the team 3 points. 2 more points.
Exactly.
Awful.
And they need points, man.
What else? Benevento beating Genoa. Genoa's in serious trouble.
I feel like they're sick every week. Like, COVID has not left them. Is that they're like they have players out
Genoa?
every game.
Yeah.
We have a comment that we should get Kessie from Milan, pair him with McKennie. That's great. I don't think they're going to sell him to us though.
Yeah, he mentioned it last week.
He'll be on PSG in a year.
Genoa, I think, just fired their coach.
Yeah,
they fired their coach.
Moran.
They hired back the coach that's been their coach 4 times already.
Or did they bring back Moran? I forget which.
Ballardini, I think they brought back for the 5th time.
Who?
Literally the 5th time.
Who?
They have a coach, Ballardini. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, but 5th time is the coach. That's how bad it is over there.
I mean, what is he on retainer? Like, hey, I'm paying you anyway. You want to come finish the season? Like, what how do you bring back a guy 5 times?
It's poor.
That's some stellar management there too.
Terrible management, yeah. Udinese, Cagliari 1-1. Inter beat Spezia 2-1. Yeah, great, good for Inter. What else we have? And we
Piccoli
talked.
had a goal.
Weren't
in
they
that
losing
game.
1-0 in that game? No.
No, that Piccoli scored at the end.
Yeah,
It was 0. It was 0-0, right, for a while.
Hakimi,
So I remember looking at the score, going, "Come on, lose this game too."
Hakimi scored and Lukaku put in a penalty.
Yeah.
So 2-1. It was a comfortable kind of win for them. It was nothing crazy. Dom, do you want to go to Player of the Week? You guys actually gave me different names this week. It was crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought you guys were gonna pick Ilicic.
Well, I was going to, but then you picked this. I just picked somebody else.
So like we said before, I mean that's his first good game in how many months, and he just changed the entire game. His vision, his finishing. If he can play like that, man, they're not gonna miss Gomez if he leaves. That's for sure. If he can play like that.
Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah, I gave it to our U.S. male soccer player of the year, McKennie, because again, I just appreciate players that are consistent and that the potty.
It's Potty, Player of the Year. That's what it is.
U.S. male soccer potty of the year.
Listen, it's a small shield. I can't fit Player of the Year. Potty it is. You make the freaking graphic.
I like it. I like the potty. Yeah, I mean, look, right now I think Juventus has McKennie and everything else is in their midfield is kind of a figure it out, and I think they need to find more McKennies. So he was my pick.
Agree.
And I put Chanaloglu because there were 2 games in this week. I put both of his assists. It was hard to find a Player of the Week this week, but he's playing very consistent this year, playing really, really well, and really helping them out when Zlatan's been out. So he's my Player of the Week. Dom, you want to go to the standings? Yeah, table standings, whatever. So there was movement, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, really quickly, Parolo just mentioned this in the chat, which we were reading before, me and Dan. They're going after that American that's playing in the MLS. He's like a defender. Apparently, they won't sell him for at least like $7-8 million or something. But
I thought Rome was getting him.
Rome wants him.
So from what I read, and I've seen highlights of him, he's very fast. He's he flies down the side. Rome actually made a legit offer. FC Dallas acknowledged that and reported it. And from what I
another team did too, a different country.
Yes. So from what I heard, though, the Rome, the American owner from Rome is friends with the FC Dallas owner. So that's kind of what they got in their court. And I think he's going to end up going to Rome, which sucks. I wanted him to go to Juventus.
Since we're talking U.S. players, I'm going to bring the guy up that I told you guys a year ago that I saw play on the USF team was like 20. I think his name is like Mahalovic or something. He's not really in the rotation right now, but the couple games I saw in the field, the guy moves the ball around. He's the opposite of what you saw Tonali do from the games that I've seen him play. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a shot. We start seeing him in some bigger leagues too.
I don't know who Parolo is talking about. I don't know who Macaluso is. What American player?
Juventus is after American player, which just Macaluso. Like that, I think that was a guy who played with me. He's probably 53 at this point, but
from Frankie's high school. Like I don't know who that is. I don't know if he's.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, that was a kid that played with us one year and scored like 6 goals in a game, but he was a complete ball hog. So, Daddy told parents he could have played better and passed, and they got pretty pissed.
Okay, so he was making an inside joke about your.
I don't know, unless there's an actual Macaluso. Or he could have also spelled it wrong, for all I know. But that's it. When I saw the name, I just remember.
He's saying you got it. Okay, I had no idea. Anyway, but no, it looks like that guy. If he's going to the Italian team, is probably going.
Hopefully, he's not watching the show. If you are, I thought your 4th goal was nice.
And like and subscribe. All right, let's go back to the standings now over here. We're seeing a more realistic standings now, right? You're seeing, Sassuolo dropping a little bit. Hellas Verona dropped a little bit. Really, that left side, the only team that you would have said could have been in there at the beginning of the season would be Fiorentina, right?
That's just you.
Well, I would have said the only
and we stupidly followed you.
The only team that could be in the top 10 would be them, and they're not in there. Everyone else is pretty much standard for me that I would have said, okay, yes, this is your top half of the table.
So what I like about it too is Atalant's got one less game, so if they win, they're in fourth, right? Which isn't horrible.
Yeah.
Who's that game against?
Udinese.
Okay.
Yeah, it was canceled by the rain.
I mean, the bigger thing is that right side of the table. That bottom three, like Genoa and Torino, holy crap! Like you would expect them to pick it up a little bit, and the fact that Torino, I mean, they're very close to pulling the plug on their coach as well.
They should.
They should. Their defense is so bad. But Genoa just made their change. Crotone plays. They only have 6 points. At least they play some entertaining soccer sometimes. They look more like a team than those teams. Spezia's dipped a little bit. I'm a little upset with that, but they're still clear 4 points. So,
so Milan's getting to the point now at the end of the first half of the season where they'll probably end up in first place, right? And that's the first big hurdle if they can be the winner of the first half.
So there's one more game before the break, and they're only 1 point up, and they have a hard game with no midfielders. They might.
Who's Interplay?
I don't know. We'll go to the schedule to see.
I kind of agree with Parola. I don't think Torino's going to stay down there.
No, I mean, listen, they will make moves in January to ensure that they don't, go down. You'll see a lot of those teams.
They shouldn't have to make moves though. They should be good enough to have more points than they have now.
Their defense is bad, dude.
But they'll be scared about going down, so they probably will make a few moves because you do not want to get relegated like that.
Well, listen, I mean, you got Spezia and Fiorentina that are 4 points ahead of you. Then you start going 5 points, 7 points. So you're gonna have to start making moves quickly.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, usually people use that 40 points as like the barometer. Like, I can get to 40, I'm staying up. You're 33 points away from that. You better start winning games. Like that's not good. Dom, go to the schedule so we can see who people play. Let's see if Milan has a chance of losing that first place.
Games, man.
I'm frozen. I can't see anything. So I don't know.
So tomorrow we got Crotone and Parma, and Juventus and Fiorentina.
Okay.
Can you see the screen or no?
I can't see anything. I'm frozen. Okay. All right. So Inter, Hellas Verona. Man, I wish Hellas Verona was
healthier,
healthy, and didn't have Barak step on some guy's leg and get suspended for 3 games.
So dumb.
Yeah, I wish they were healthier. So
what games you want to pick?
Go ahead. You guys pick first.
Well, let's go Milan Lots, right? We got to start with that. That's probably the biggest game.
Probably game of the week, right?
I would say. I'm actually going to give it to Lots 2-1.
Yeah, so Milan hasn't lost since soccer has started back since the pandemic, like the only undefeated team since March. I think they lose their first game, and I'm going to say 3-2 just because they have no players.
Yeah, I want to say 2-2.
Okay.
Let us know in chat what you guys think. Predictions.
Who is it? What's he say? Daniel Obama doesn't count? Does not count? What does that mean?
I don't know. I think he's drinking, though.
I think he's
got jokes tonight.
He's trolling me.
He's trolling you. You and Macaluso.
Like and subscribe, Macaluso. Like and subscribe.
If you'd like to be called on our next show, you can do it by buying
Barack Obama.
Call me out on the show for $100.
He said Barack. Yeah, I like Barack. Okay, I don't know if I'm even pronouncing his name right, but
wow, look at him. That was a smooth transition. I like it.
Yeah, 3 games suspended. I think he got because of that step on the leg.
3 games? Come on.
Yeah. That was dirty.
It was dirty. Frank, you pick a game.
All right. Where should we go here? I'll go Sampdoria Sassuolo.
Okay. What do you got?
And I'm going to go 3-2 Samp.
3-2 Samp. I'm going to say going to say draw 1-1.
Is Locatelli back?
I hope so.
He should be. I think he was suspended last game because he had too many yellow cards. He had 5 yellow cards.
All right. This guess is going to bank on Caputo playing a little bit. 2-1 Sassuolo.
2-1 Sassuolo. Okay, so we all picked something different there, I think. I'm going to pick since Parolo here is giving scores for Verona Inter, I guess I'm going to pick Verona Inter game. And I'm going to say draw 2-2.
Yeah, I was going to
2-1
say
Verona for me.
Oh, I was going to say 1-1.
Okay, so if that happens, then Milan stays up top for the break. What, Dom, got any more slides?
What about the Juventus Fiorentina game? Should we pick that one?
I mean, we usually only pick 3. Juventus home before Christmas. Fiorentina is barely scoring a goal a game. I mean, they
3-0 Juventus.
3. I don't know. I'll say 4-0 Juventus. Me and Paul on the same page.
I was going to say 4-2, but now I'll just say 2-0.
All right, that's it, right? So
that, as they say in France, is a wrap.
So we have these games, and then there is a break. You know, the international, no, not the international, just the break for 2 weeks or whatever, the holiday break, and then it'll probably ramp up with 4 games a week, like it's been. But yeah, we'll have another episode next week, and then maybe we'll have results we can talk about. We can have first half awards, which I want to do.
Wow.
We'll do MVP, we'll do Coach of the Year, we'll do all
I can't even remember what I watched 2 days ago. You want to remember the entire first half?
Up, okay. We'll talk transfers because transfers should be a little more prevalent then. So we have stuff to talk about next week.
Yes, thank you for watching. Have a Merry Christmas. Let's go Juve.
Yeah, happy
Let's
holiday.
go Verona. Beat Inter.